Today we're talking about money, specifically pensions and saving for the longer term. Mistakes that can ruin the performance of our pensions. I'll share 3 common mistakes that I see people make as a financial advisor and 3 easy actions that you can take to fix them. Hi, welcome to Conscious Money. If you're new here, I'm Cleona, a financial advisor in the UK, and I love talking about freedom and clarity with money and pensions. If you like that sort of thing, consider subscribing. The first common mistake I see is not taking appropriate risk. Many investors default to a fund that is pre-selected, and this may not be the appropriate risk for the amount of years that you have left to retire. The longer the time horizon, the more you may want to be weighted towards equities and not bonds. Equities are shares in companies. So reflecting on what level makes sense for you is important. We can also reframe what risk actually is. The real risk is not that equity markets go up and down over time, which feels risky, and this is why you want to invest via a well-diversified portfolio with eggs in different baskets, The 2 foxes that can steal your chickens from your retirement garden are tax and inflation. So the real risk is that you may outlive your cash and that you do not have enough for your needs in retirement, that your purchasing power shrinks. It's a very warm day in London today, so I'm drinking Moroccan mint, lime juice, and ice, lots of ice in water. Keep hydrated. History shows us that a reliable way to achieve protection against inflation is with the right asset allocation. The longer the time frame, the better equity markets or shares perform as an asset class. So check whether the risk that you're taking is actually appropriate for the time frame that you're investing for. Have a look at your pension and you will be able to see the fund fact sheets, have an idea of what the risk levels of the fund or funds that you're invested in are, and then readjust as needed. Also, I see most people just don't engage enough with their pensions. I sometimes see a shrinking away or just not wanting to look at their pension statements. This is problematic because you have to know yourself and then you also have to know your pension. Your money may be also invested in industries or companies that don't meet your values. There are very interesting companies and teams and businesses that are solving global challenges, so it's good to be aware of your choice. You want to become friends with your pension and to look at it once every 6 months or 12 months and just get used to eyeballing the information. It's easier than you think. It's a bit like a dentist appointment, for me anyway. The idea of it is much worse than the actual thing. Ask your pension provider questions about anything that you don't understand. They'll point you to places where you'll find the information that you need, and this will increase your understanding very quickly. So when your pension valuation statement comes in the post or comes into your email inbox, don't toss it away. You actually look at it, and after a few times, your eyes will get trained in reading this information and you'll be able to get quicker and feel more confident with it. You can also evaluate what are the other pension investment choices that you have that might be better than the one that you're in or the ones that you're in, and make adjustments as necessary. I find many people make a selection maybe a few years ago when they first joined the scheme, and they just haven't looked at the pension fund fact sheets. It's not your fault at all. It's just not a life skill that is common, and we're not taught a lot of financial literacy in school, but this is an easy one to fix. And change is constant, including in business. And so it's a bit like, you regularly take your car, if you have one, to get checked for your MOT. It's the same thing with a pension. You've just got to regularly check just to make sure that it's working for you. Where is your goal? Where you are? What's the gap? And just assess what you can do to close that gap. Another mistake is the amount of contribution that is made. Many people stick with the default minimum contribution in their work pensions, or start with a really small amount and then forget to regularly increase it as their earnings go up. See if you can cut back on any unnecessary expenses and automate as much as possible your pension contributions, like via your paycheck or your direct debit, so you don't have decision fatigue. The more friction there is for each time when money gathers in your current account and you have to decide about it, the less likely you probably are going to top up your pensions. By the way, pensions are not the only way to save for your retirement. I'm just focusing this particular video on pensions, but there are many ways in which you can invest and different wrappers. And because of this brilliant, amazing miracle of compounding, if you are young, you want to use the magic of compounding and not invest just the bare minimum for your scheme. This way, you can be more relaxed about putting money away towards your retirement in your more mature years, rather than playing catch up towards the end. So if you're going to put money away into your pension, make sure that you've taken some time to really work out if that's a reasonable percentage. If you can actually increase it, even by 1 or 2%, it will make a difference. And when I say reasonable, I mean going to a calculator and doing some simple maths. Get clear on when, how, why you actually want to achieve financial independence, and working backwards to, what is the pot size that you need. You can use pension calculators online, and if it looks like it's going to be tough to meet your target, you might want to check your assumptions or lower your expectations, or invest more and cut back on spending, or look at ways in which you can increase your income in order to be able to contribute more. The logic is simple. If you want to live on enough in retirement, then you also need to be contributing enough now, and then making sure that that pot is working for you. The other thing to pay attention to is, of course, fees, because it has a big impact on compounding. It's always a good idea to know exactly what sort of fees you're paying on any kind of investment. The bonus tip I have for you is to talk about money to people that you trust at work or with your friends or family, assuming they are good with money. We need to talk more openly about money and just normalize it and do the inner work, explore your relationship with money. The inner world actually creates a lot of havoc with the external world of money when we don't question our assumptions or any conditioning that doesn't serve us. So now you know what to avoid. Go and check out this video on how to read a fund fact sheet. Thanks for watching.